All right, we're gonna start with this reaction video, or reaction of this video.
A high-value woman is a traditional woman who has good religious values, virgin, not fat, that will not be a headache to any man. Men do not care about your college education, your travels, or exes. That's facts. That's facts. Facts?
I would say this, right? High value women is just, I think any woman that is with a good man, in my opinion. Virgin, like, it's not like those are easy to come by. I just say a woman with a low body count. College education, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it will be good for her, right? Expand her mind. That's not a bad thing. Traveling the world, that's not that big. That's not that important either. I mean, those are like maybe self-discovery, self-development, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily attract you to a man. Does that make you high value? Not really, because who are you valuable to, right? Sometimes people don't understand. High value is essentially you are valuable to a decent amount of people. If you're valuable to like a handful of people or the people around you, you're not doing much. Usually, right? High value, I've always felt that it's only for a small percent of men. I wouldn't. That's why I don't really consider myself or pretty much anyone high value, because let's say a CEO or the president of a company. Well, he's high value because without his company, he wouldn't be able to employ dozens or hundreds of people, and then his whatever wouldn't his product or whatever wouldn't be. It's like that, right? Other people are benefiting or using, what his idea was or his heart or whatever, right? It's because of him, because of that person was be able to create a whole lot of value. Okay.
Does anyone disagree with that?
I kind of do, because
okay.
I mean, like, if it doesn't matter about your college degree or anything, then are you just picking a woman because she's pretty? Like, do you not, like, this is the woman that's going to be raising your kids, and you're saying a college degree isn't important? What is
not important at all?
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily correlate to her ability to be a wife or a mother.
But what I'm just trying to kind of get at was mainly just like education in general, like in life skills. You're saying a high value woman is just going to do whatever you say, but if someone's agreeing with you, where is it?
Unless she got a degree from How to Be a Wife University.
Well, if she's just agreeing with everything, then you have no growth either.
No, well, first off, some of the most stupid and brain dead people have college degrees. Like, just because you were able to sit there and basically, college is a 5-figure. You basically want somebody to read to you. Like, congratulations, you're able to be a cog in the machine and complete the tasks. I don't think college is really pumping out anything really spectacular intellectually. So
yeah, kind of where
unless
I was like
STEM.
going with that
Yes,
was more on
STEM.
like education on like how to do real life things.
in college?
No, sorry.
What?
Just what I took away from him basically saying college degree was like kind of an education.
Well, I mean, essentially what he was saying was, if you ask women what do men when you ask women what they bring to the table, they often say college education. I'm educated. I'm educated.
My
I'm
job.
educated. Yeah. So what he's saying is men don't care about that, and it's not that we don't care, but that's not our that's not our preference. Like, we don't value that. If there's a hierarchy of things that we value in women, college education is not going to be at the top. We have a preference for youth and beauty, how kind you are, how feminine you are, like things that actually make you enjoyable to be around, and a mentality and an attitude that can raise our kids. That's what we value more than the college education.
This is very true. But how are like looks and femininity and all like that all of that going to actually raise your kids?
That's attraction. You got to create them.
That's what starts your connection.
Yeah.
How is your degree in what's a fucking bullshit degree that people have?
Women's
in
studies.
fucking-
Women's studies. Women's
Fe-
studies.
yeah, in feminism. How's that going to help you raise your children? Congrats, you have a bachelor's in feminist studies.
I mean, shoot, do you learn a little bit of history in that?
You learn false history and bullshit and man hating.
Well,
Actually, I would argue that if your college degree is in feminist studies, that makes you barred. You should be barred from having children and families, because if you birth a son, you're going to hate your son. If you have a husband, you're going to hate your husband. So no, I don't think getting, and also the reality is, I think in a lot of universities, I think it's a requirement. It might be, I don't know. Do you have to take any like sociology or feminist studies classes as general education?
Sociology.
Yeah,
you gotta
not
take sociology.
necessarily
That's a
feminism,
require.
but I feel like you can like pick too, like what you want to take.
Congratulations, you've just learned how to hate men. Cool.
Essentially, yeah.
Basically.
That's what that is. I think
Yeah.
that
All these college institutions are just churning out man-hating women, basically. That's what they are. They're indoctrination factories. Believe this. All 99%.
I kind of agree. I would like make it a little bit more broader, where it's more like woke ideology, right? I have not been in college for a while, but what I've seen online and stuff, right, with the young college students now, it's very like you're not really thinking, okay? Professors and stuff like that are putting their own beliefs into the studies and trying to indoctrinate you into their own beliefs.
And my professors are probably liberal. Okay, I'm going to believe the main storyline, and I also believe in feminism, and men are terrible, and men are oppressors, even though 60% of college graduates are women, and women don't have any opportunities, and there's male privilege, even though I'm more educated than my male counterparts. So, hello? Sorry, I'm just ranting there.
Facts. It's facts.
That's true.
I agree too.
What do you
guy just
disagree
kinda-
with on that?
Oh,
I'm
just the
I'm
fact
really,
that like
what do you disagree with what he
that
said?
colleges are teaching that now
They are.
instead of like actual
They
science.
Well, most women don't major in STEM. They don't major in any of the sciences. Those are predominantly still men. Most of the nursing, education, the feminine studies, all of those liberal arts, those are predominantly women. Women are getting degrees mostly in those fields. Nursing is probably the most useful field that most women get degrees in.
Your college education does not make you more attractive.
I think college or not, I feel like everyone's attracted to education. Like even if it's not through college, just someone who has the same values and morals as you and the same ideas as you. Whether,
Yeah, but
like, whether college has to do with it or not, you know.
And I had
Just
I
like
had made a
a
video.
well-rounded person.
I had made a video talking about that. I said women who think men should value their education and their degrees. Why don't we take OnlyFans and we substitute it with degrees? We turn it into only degrees and see how much money women make by posting their degree. Degree ass white girl. Woman with fat ass degree. Like why don't we take OnlyFans and substitute all the adult content that's posted on there with women posting their degrees and their education and their credentials and see how much money they make. That shows you what men value right there.
I think the guy's comment itself was just fucking stupid. Just the traditional wife is a virgin, and yeah, the traditional wife being a virgin and things like that. Like automatically, if you want your partner to be a virgin, and you're not, like.
I think that
I don't think there's anything
people-
wrong with that.
I think people just have their own
What's
definitions.
wrong with wanting a virgin?
Why is that like the perfect girl?
Why is that the perfect
Because she
girl?
hasn't been sexually conquered by anybody yet.
So fucking stupid.
It's what
It's
men
a-
are attracted to.
Actually, yes, Nick. I think we have those already pulled up. I mean, look, it's one. There's hold on, Nick. Hold on. I mean, one, STD risk. So a woman who's a virgin, like,
I would say this, right? From in my view, one of the biggest thing, right? I'd say virgin is a bit of a not extreme, but it's a bit of a tough ask in today's day and age, right? But at the end of the day, it's trauma, it's attitude, right? It's how you are. Women don't understand. See, this is when women seems to they seem to always ignore or play down trauma, right? I mean, like when they want to put their points across, right? Like rape or, you know, abuse of any kind, then they're all for trauma, but they don't understand that. Okay, you go with this man, he cheats on you, he breaks up with you, boom. Okay, you go with this man, he does this to you, he does that to you. That next man, he does this to you, does that to you, blah blah blah. You continuously pile that on, right? Even though, let's say, it was at the lowest case where each man just chips a little bit, okay, of your personality, of your spirit, of your mind, whatever. All those chips will 100% affect a woman. She'll get jaded. She'll have an attitude. She'll be distrusting. Okay, she'll just be hard to deal with. So, when you do find, after being through tons of men, and then find maybe the one man with morals and characters, right? You don't trust him. You give him attitude. You treat him terribly, so on and so on. So really, you will be the person who pretty much destroys your relationship to a good man and pushes him away because of all the trauma you've been through. Okay, all the bodies you went through, all the D's you've had, right? It affected you. It makes you, how you view men or how you treat men, and that, okay, will now affect again the one person that would have been good for you, but you know what? You self-sabotage yourself and destroy that relationship. Okay, women don't understand that it's traumatic going through all these bad things, so it's not a good thing. Okay.
Absent her getting something from her mother in childbirth, very unlikely to have an STD.
Get
a woman
tested.
who's okay, cool. You get tested. You have herpes. Congratulations.
Don't be with them then.
Wait, what? But okay, if you're promiscuous, if you sleep with a lot of people, then the likelihood of you having a sexually transmitted disease is higher.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes they're asymptomatic, and you can pass it along to your partner. The other thing is when women have had a lot of sexual partners, their ability to pair bond with future partners is greatly diminished. The likelihood of infidelity is much higher. The likelihood of reporting relationship and marriage dissatisfaction is much higher. What else? There's the likelihood of divorce is much higher, and they've done studies on this. And also, like the women value experience, whereas as a guy, women like men who are leaders. As a guy, if you have sexual experience, you will be able to have good sex with a woman who's a virgin. It's not clear to me if women seek out virgins, like, to have really good sex.
They actually don't prefer that, according to the research. And my last 2 girlfriends were both virgins. I'm not a virgin. I know how to date. I know how to fuck. So, but essentially, I turned them out. They imprinted on me. I liked making them feel like they were mine. I became the standard of what they're used to. It's an ego stroke. It's an ego boost. I'm not gonna lie about that. I put it on her right. She be like, all I can think about is you. All I realize is you. You're the only thing I know. That's attractive to me. I like doing that. And I'm sure there are men who feel the same way. So, of course, it's an ego stroke. It's an ego boost. You got to it first, and they were my girlfriends. I made them my girlfriends. That's only fair. If you're a virgin, I'm going to make you my girlfriend. Like, we can work towards something. Now, I'm not like that. A woman doesn't have to be a virgin for me, but I don't want her to have been around the block. I don't want her to have had a whole bunch of casual sexual encounters.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can totally have the preference of just have a normal amount of partners. I don't know
but normal in today's day and age is by the time she's 21, she's slept with 10 plus guys. So I don't want normal.
And she lost her
anymore.
virginity at 18.
Or younger.
Yeah,
Typically younger.
It honestly depends on the state and the area.
Yeah, I was gonna
What?
say like 90% of the girls in my area,
In San Diego?
in my Vista area.
I don't.
It's a city in San Diego.
Okay. Is what? They're just trad wives? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're
California is pretty degenerate when it comes to sex, so I'm assuming that, like, probably. Are you saying women in your area have a low body count in San Diego? San
Yeah.
Diego's like super liberal progressive.
I don't know about that, but we aren't.
It's facts.
A lot of people.
Madison's
aren't-
from. Wait, it's facts? You're from San Diego? Okay.
Where are you from?
I'll tell you after.
Heard.
Also, men just biologically are attracted to women who are not promiscuous. So, virgin is like the epitome of non promiscuity. Do you disagree that men are not, men are not biologically attracted to non promiscuous women?
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think it's definitely like a possible thing, but I've also met men that are.
Remember the
Yes.
conversation we had earlier when we were talking about sexual competition and how we evolved to be monogamous because of our polygamous past? So it speaks to that. So if men develop sperm competition, that means men were fucking the same woman all throughout our evolutionary history, and those men couldn't tell who the child's father was. Paternity uncertainty, which means one way to combat that is to simply have a virgin. But that's the scientific explanation for why we're repulsed by women who are promiscuous, because we have that same wiring in our brain that evolved, that was passed down. We have that same repulsivity, that same repugnance for a promiscuous woman, because it signals to us this woman could have us taking care of another man's child. And that's disrespectful to a man unknowingly for him to be taking.
And I don't know God, I forgot the stats, but I mean, they said that at least maybe 30 to 40% of men are raising children that are not biologically them, unknowingly raising children that are not theirs. And this is like, that is in today's day and age with paternity tests and science to the wahoo. Okay? Today, men are, by studies, about 30 to 40% of men unknowingly raising children that are not theirs. Okay? On the low end, probably, I mean, it could be around 30, but the high end could be more. And that's scary, right? Women think, oh, you can take paternity tests. There's science. But women don't do that automatically. And I've heard so many stories, right? Where a man asks for a paternity test and then she leaves him, right? Because she doesn't agree with it. Like, women automatically think, okay, if you say paternity test, you're calling me a cheater. Automatically, I'm going to leave you. Whether the paternity test turns out true or false. So really, a lot of men don't say it because, okay, if it was false, then I just lost my child and the woman that I'm with. So a lot of men just don't do it. And this is the thing, women don't understand. Women do not sympathize with men. Women don't care how men feel. And then later on, when men find out that, okay, it's not his child, and he's been raising, caring, providing, protecting a child that's not his, it's devastating. But women don't care. Women initially think that, okay, you just called me a cheater, I'm going to leave you. It's like, that's why I always believe that, you know what? Trust is earned, not just given blindly.
Taking care of another man's child.
It's not just disrespectful, it is the biggest L you can
it's
take.
betrayal. Yeah.
Like,
that's
to
total betrayal.
to think the child is yours, think you've passed on your genes, but in actuality, this chick could essentially be stealing away your lineage. That's the biggest fucking L a guy can take in life, is raising a child that he thinks is his that actually isn't.
No
Doing
doubt.
everything he can to provide, protect, provision for a child that's not his.
So that's why
because
men
he
care
believes
more
it's
about
Yeah,
this, because
no
as
doubt.
as women, if you have a kid, in all situations, you know the kid's yours.
Yeah.
It could be from this guy, from that guy, from this guy. You know with certainty it's yours because that comes with the fact that you're the ones who actually birth the children.
Mm-hmm.
However, as guys, there's not really a way for us to 100% know
at all.
So one of the big ways we can look at that, and this is just comes down, this is just in the same way that why are women attracted to tall guys? I mean, you like taller, bigger guys more capable of physically protecting you. A woman who's promiscuous is more likely to essentially be cucking you.
That's also why we get jealous as well. A lot of people think essentially jealousy is a byproduct of us deterring potential threats to our woman. We get jealous at any perceived threat because, of course, that raises the risk of you sleeping with him, getting pregnant by him, and then I'm raising another man's kid. So it's better to just deter that man through jealousy. If a woman knows her man is jealous, she's less inclined to cheat.
Not all the time, because I've have experiences where I had really jealous boyfriends and they cheated.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about why jealousy exists. It don't have to be all the time, but in general, like this is what's been measured and this is what's been found scientifically. That's why jealous. That's why we get jealous, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much a lot of common things. A lot of these women don't say a whole lot, so there's not a lot for me to react to, right? Not like they were saying a whole lot, but this girl, I mean, being educated is nice. It's not this is sometimes women don't understand that education, right? It's fine. It's not men saying, "Oh, I want you to be uneducated." No, but it's not like, "Oh my God, your education is so hot." It's not a plus. It doesn't add to your value most of the time in men's eyes. It's not going to subtract, but it doesn't add to it. So that's essentially the meaning, right? It's neither plus or minus. And this woman is idiotic. Again, yeah, it's not straight up a virgin, but low body count would be the preferred, right? This is the women would date men that are not 6 foot, but usually for most women, 6 foot is preferred. This is the thing with women, right? It's like preferences are preferences, right? They're not hard rules. It's not a must. It's like, oh my God, if it's not a virgin, I'm not dating nobody. No, it is a preference, right? A lot of women have preferences. A lot of men have preferences. It doesn't mean that it's a absolute stone cold rule, right? Written stone rule. But yeah, if a man, it's like, this is the thing, right? They always say if it's young, virgin, and all this stuff, they have to attack it. Why attack? This is the thing, right? It's like only in recent years where men are fighting back and like talking about why you choose a height, essentially attacking. But like men never really cared, right? Men never really attacked women's preferences because we know it. We know it. That's how the world works, right? It's just how life is. But for women, they always attack what men may like. And it's always ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.